I don't know if you can see much at all, but I was told to make a video once I decided to change the bridge out on one of my guitars here. So what I have today is a 2018 Gibson ES-335 traditional. What it is essentially is it's a, I guess, modern iteration of a 60s ES-335, right? With the small block inlays and all that. However, I have to tell you, the neck is a little bit more 50s. It isn't baseball bad, it isn't C-shaped like a lot of the Les Pauls, but it's almost like a V-shape actually, if you think about it, if I think about it. Anyways, it's a nice chunk to it, which I actually like more. I like the aesthetics of the 60s, you know, with the reflector knobs and all that. And I know all these can be changed pretty easily, but I like the neck being a little more chunky on the 50s side. But what the problem is I'm having is that, although, I'm going to take the strap off, I set my guitars to a certain specification in regards to the neck relief, nut action, bridge action here, and even the stop bar height. So what I do is that all my guitars have a tiny bit of a bow, just a tiny bit, maybe, I don't know, 0.254 millimeters or something like that. It's like a little business card, tiny bit of a bow, so it bounces a little bit, but it's still pretty straight. My nut action is pretty dang close without having a buzz, right? So that's the whole point of it, is to try to get that close enough without a buzz. My bridge, I do 4/64ths on the treble side and 4/64ths on the bass side, so that it follows that 12-inch radius that all Gibsons have, or most Gibsons have. By doing so, it should follow the action or the radius of the neck. And then my stop bar here, I have it raised up where the angle of the break here on my string is the same as the angle of the break of the nut, or at least close enough, right? Once again, I apologize. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but we'll have to deal with that for right now. And so all my guitars are set up the same way, even my tremolo guitars like my Strat, my Floyd Rose stuff, and they all feel similar enough, easy to play. They obviously, being different guitars, they're going to be different, but overall not that bad, right? Or not that different. This one, however, tends to be a very difficult guitar to play, and I don't know why. Besides the fact that it's a different guitar than my Les Pauls and my SG, it's just incredibly difficult to play at times. And when I play it, I'm trying to think what's going on. I feel as though perhaps maybe these guys, the saddles here, might have been cut in a way that's not as exact as I would like it. Not only that, but it does sound a little jangly, a little brittle. I know these guys are titanium saddles. There should be a lot of solid mass to kind of for a sound transfer, but I don't know. All I know is that everything being about the same, and I assume the neck is radius correctly at the factory. The only thing that could be really different, or that could really feel different, without me knowing so much about it, is the bridge here. Not only that, it's an ABR1 bridge, which, as most of you may know, it's a little bit less precise in the intonation adjustments than a Nashville bridge found on the modern Les Paul or USA standard guitars. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to replace it with a TonePros AVR2, which is their version of the ABR1. I've roughed out the saddle positions for intonation, and I will fine tune it later on. But we're going to see how it feels, and we're going to see how it sounds. These, I think they say, I don't know, what are they? Brass saddles, for sure. I don't know what the material is made out of, though, the bridge itself. I'm thinking some sort of a little bit heavier, denser metal than Zamic or zinc that they're using on the Gibson ones. But anyways, brass tends to be probably a little bit less bright, less jangly than the titanium stuff. So we're going to try it out and see how that works. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to show you my installation process, and it should be as easy as all get out. So what you have to do is loosen these strings where you can move them apart, and then basically stick this on. I'm going to leave my posts and my thumb wheels stock. I don't think they're the ones causing the problem, and I don't want to deal with taking them out and putting in the new ones. It's just you want to, I mean, if you don't have to do something, don't do it, right? And on the video too, I've bookended it with what do you call it? Comparisons. So the first video, or the first segment, is this with the Gibson bridge. Second segment will be the one with the TonePros bridge. Right? See if it goes apart. Yeah, pretty good. I'm going to loosen up just a little bit more, so it's a little easier. It's really, really weird talking to myself, guys. I'm not used to that. As you can probably tell in my video, I just do kind of play, I kind of play guitar in my videos. I don't really talk. Anyways, so I'm gonna lift this up just like that. Okay, easy peasy, and carefully trying my best not to move these posts so that my or thumb wheel so that my action is just about the same. I'll stick this right in. You see that? All right, now that's stuck in. What I'm gonna do now is that they give you a little Allen wrench, and you're supposed to lock it in. That's what I'll do right now. Now I did see on another video, and I guess I will find out very soon, that once these lock in, the thumb wheels don't really matter anymore. So, oh shoot, I didn't do such a hot job with that. Let me loosen this up again, because that one's sort of sticking up. It's not resting on the thumb wheel like it should. Let's loosen up a little more. There you go. So both of them are now, I'm gonna loosen this one up too. So what happens, you guys, is the TonePros equipment here, they have these little Allen wrench screws here to lock it up, right? And what happens is that if you don't have a Gibson guitar or even an Epiphone, these bridges and the stop tailpiece, they're normally just kind of free floating, which means once you take the strings off, there's nothing holding it back. There's no tension holding the mechanism. And so it just falls right off. And by doing so, people say it loses sound transfer, and you know, there's nothing else kind of grounding it to the whatever mechanisms it's using, which I guess I can believe. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I haven't done any controlled experiments, but anyway, this is good enough. Okay, so once I have this in, I can lock it up, which I think I'm going to do later on actually, because I might have to still move the action depending on how it feels with everything here. So I'm going to put all the strings back on, and then I'm going to tighten it up, tune it up, adjust the action, and fine tune the intonation, and I'll kind of show you what I do next. Okay, so I changed it. Everything was the same. I fine-tuned the action and the intonation. I'll tell you right away that the intonation is much easier to deal with. The saddles move much smoother, and I was able to get it pretty dang exact. So, much better. I'll tell you right now too, it feels a little more solid. I would probably say it sounds a little bit more precise, a little fuller, more in a certain way, less poly, you know, more solid body. And not to take away the semi-hollow aspect of this, but it's much easier. Right away I can tell it's a little bit easier to deal with than the stock bridge. So I'm going to do the same as I did with the first video, which is record, I guess, close enough in regards to the things that I play. I have a Marshall DSL-20 and an SM57 or 58 going into Logic here. So I'll start with the neck pickup.